Well, Tracy, it's time to say goodbye. Christmas is over and your time in the spotlight has come to an end, but maybe not forever. Maybe we'll see Tracy and all her pals and some new pals later on in the year if I can get my bottom into gear. Now, I was going to say the word I was going to say the word beginning with A and ending in E, and it's got an R and an S in it. But apparently YouTube are clamping down on swears. So although I very seldom swear, I don't swear on my main channel, and I very seldom swear on this one, and even if I do, it's just the odd minor swear. I don't think I've ever said the C word. Well, I have many times, but not on this channel. See you later, Trace. Mwah, put her back. I am kneeling in the place where the tree was, and I'm starting to get things sorted. My back is still causing problems. You might have seen my impromptu live on New Year's Eve when I saw in the new year with QVC. How sad is that? And I spent practically all of New Year's Day, more or less, in bed, and not because I was hungover from the 3 snowballs I drank the night before, but because I could barely move. Yesterday I even asked Mark to put my socks on for me, because that's what I'm having trouble with. The 2 main things I'm having trouble with at the moment, although I'm getting a lot better, it's easing, but the 2 main problems I've been having is putting on socks and wiping my bottom. I did ask Mark to put on my socks because it was taking me 10 minutes to try and get my socks on, but I did draw the line at getting my bottom wiped. He would have done it if there was a real need for it, I think, because he has done that in the past when he worked on a hospital ward. He's wiped bottoms, both front and back bottoms, and I'm sure he's cleaned a few penises in his time. But I could just about, I'm a lot more flexible. Now the pain was in the lower back, it's now back in the neck. But slowly but surely I am sort of looking after myself a bit more. Well, I have to, because if I bend a certain way it hurts. And it's so stupid how it happened. This is the second time I've done my back in recent weeks. The first time I was carrying a heavy box and I twisted, and that's when it happened. And it's the twisting. I don't know what it is, but I just lifted out my rucksack from the car and it was in the drive up against the wall, and it was a bit of a tight squeeze, and it was just taking out a fairly light rucksack, and that's when it happened again, just after our trip away in the caravan. It wasn't as bad as the first time I did it, but it still, was still pretty bad. I've not been dosing up on painkillers. I've had 2 sets of ibuprofen just to get me a bit more mobile, but the trouble is, if you take a painkiller that numbs the pain or stops the pain, then you could be causing more damage. So I've been sort of trying not to really numb the pain, and because I need to know when I'm going a bit too far. So I'm just I'm kneeling on the floor at the moment. I don't know if the back problems have started with these uncomfortable chairs I've had to sit on. Let's hope when the sofa arrives it's going to be comfortable. I do miss being able to lie down. I've been lying on the floor quite a lot. But yeah, I just got to be careful with my back, want to lose some weight as well, that will help. But anyway, so I thought I'd do a catch up. It's Wednesday the 4th, I think, of January 2023, so Happy New Year to you, if you didn't catch me saying it in my live New Year show. So I thought I'd have a little chat just to say what's coming up, because I will be uploading all sorts of different content in the next few weeks, and it's going to be very, very random, and some of it will have been recorded a few weeks ago, some of it a few months, and maybe some of it a few years ago. It's going to be all over the place. I'm just going to get the content up there. The next thing you'll definitely see after this video is my attempt at making my first coffee and walnut cake. That video's already done, edited. It's on YouTube now, but it's set to private. So once you've seen this, in a couple of days, I'll upload that video. And then there's some footage from the last holiday we've just come back from. We had 4 nights away in Caton Village caravan and motorhome camping site. Rained most of the time, but we had, we had a nice time. It was a bit of a change, but we came back New Year's Eve because we were due to go to some friend's house. They'd invited us over, but I didn't go because of the back. Mark still went and left me all alone. That's why I went live, because there was nothing on TV, and I thought I'll have a chat. So, New Year, it's all about New Year, new me, new home. Not a new home, but a revamped old home. And one of the first things, this is one of my 2 new lamps behind. I saw something very similar on a designer type home website, and I thought, oh, they're really nice. But then I did a Google search and found something that looks almost identical for half the price, which, these were still, as far as lamps go, a substantial amount of money. But how often do I buy lamps? Not often. So I've got 2 of them. This is one of the side tables, and I'm sort of kneeling in the place where the new snuggle chair will hopefully eventually be in a few weeks. So there's another one of these matching on the other side, matching side table with the lamp. And just over out of shot is where the new 3-seater sofa's going, and I've measured it, and there's enough space to fit a slim chrome and glass side table that sort of matches the lamps. It's this sort of crisscross design, and I've got that from M&S. And there's a possibility I will be getting a chrome and glass coffee table, either an oblong one or a nesting round one. But what I've got upstairs somewhere is a chrome and glass coffee table. It's pretty cheap, and I only bought it so I could film from underneath, and I never got round to doing it. I think I used it once for that purpose, but it was to film, put the camera underneath and have a vacuum, put dirt on the top of the glass and then have a vacuum or floor washer or something, so you get that underneath shot that you see in infomercials. So I might bring that down, assemble it again, and just position it, and just to see whether it's worth getting either an oblong coffee table. Mark's after a coffee table to either go in front, probably to go in front of the sofa. So we'll see. So I'll show you what I'm doing. Here's Daisy. Have you finished your treat? Come here, my sweet. Daisy, my stomach's rumbling. I've not had any breakfast. I just had a coffee. I didn't really fancy anything. Come here, my lovely. You're so pretty. So yes. So as I said, you're going to be seeing all sorts of different content, varied things. So please assume that, don't assume that I've just recorded them. If you see them, don't assume that they've been recorded recently. Some of them will be more recent than others. So that's why I'm just doing this. This is recorded recently. I've just told you the date I'm recording it. So that's that. So it would happen at this time. I've managed. I'm getting better. A couple of days ago I couldn't have gone up ladders, but last night I actually got the ladders out and went up into the loft, brought down the boxes, the empty boxes for the Christmas decks. Pardon me. Mark did help a bit with that. I'd sort of started moaning and saying, well, it would be nice to have a bit of help, So he took down a lot of the empty boxes. I just sort of flung them down from the loft hatch. So nearly everything's packed away now. And tree's gone. I normally wait till 12th night. I think that's tomorrow. So I just wanted rid of it because I've got so much to do. And at a time when I can't really do very much without hurting myself, because, fingers crossed, they're going to start the ensuite on Monday following. A new floor has been ordered for the ensuite, and we've got to make sure that the people doing the flooring will sort of, we've told the people who are doing, I'm not going to, I don't know if they're even going to turn up. We've paid them a deposit. I think we've paid them half. Shouldn't have done. But if everything goes wrong, I will certainly be calling the company out and sharing my woes on all the social media that I'm in, both my YouTube channels, my Instagram, my Facebook, everything. I'll be ripping into those people. Anyway, we got some new tiles, so I've chosen the tiles, chosen a new floor for the ensuite. Mark was going to get them to do the new floor in the hallway at the same time, and I said, no, don't. And he was even suggested that my mum have my dogs for a week while it was all being done. I said, no, my mum has enough to do. She won't want to look after my dogs as well. It's okay if I'm there, stopping at my mum's with the dogs. That's fine. But there's no way. I said, no, I was amazed he even suggested it, just because we're having a little bit of work done. But anyway, I've put a stop to the hallway. I said, look, that's too much. We need to concentrate on the ensuite. Just get that done first. And then, the other stuff. Because before the hall floor goes down, we've got to repaint the hall, especially the skirting board. So, I was a bit cross with him. And because I'm very limited, I am doing stuff, but I'm doing it at a much slower pace. I'm getting stuff done, but I'm sort of walking around like an old man. But I'm hugely better than I was, but I'm still very aware I've got a back. And normally you're not aware of your back, are you? You're only aware of your back and your neck when it hurts. So, the thing is, I wanted to paint my ensuite before they started it, because I don't want to paint the ceiling and the walls that aren't being tiled after it's all done. I want to get at least a couple of coats of white emulsion, and I also need to sand all the walls, because looking closely there's brush marks and all sorts, because they just slapped the paint on, when in a new build. They haven't made an effort. So this room, this has been redecorated, and but upstairs hasn't had any redecoration at all since we moved in 12 odd years ago. Nothing, not even a base coat of anything. So it really needs doing. So hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks that will be finished. But I've got to try and do the sanding of the walls and at least get a couple of coats of paint in the ensuite. I've also got to move the stuff out of the ensuite that I've put in there, the new stuff. Mark will have to carry up the new shower cubicle that's in the study at the moment, because there's no way I can lift that. And also the new shower base, very heavy, large base made of some stone composite material. That is under my bed with lots of things on top. So Mark's going to have to get that out. So I've got so much to do. What with one thing and another, and just don't know what. I don't know how it's going to pan out. It's just, I wouldn't mind normally, but as I said, the back isn't helping. Anyway, I'll pick the camera up if I can. It's a good job it's a small camera. I couldn't have coped with one of those big things that I used to use, those huge full-size VHS camcorders that you put on your shoulder. And you held, those huge. Oh, no, I can just about manage that. So the living room is still a little bit messy. It's in the process of being sorted after Christmas. Hello, Daisy May. So that's, let's say, that's the new lamp and the other new lamp there. And there is a bigger than I thought, new blingy sort of mirror that's going to go somewhere in the middle on this wall. Focus. And there will be the snuggle chair. And I've just pulled, I don't know why I pulled that chair out. There was some reason I pulled the chair out to find something. Anyway, so where the two chairs are, I've explained before, that's where we're having the new 3-seater or large sofa. I'm sure it's definitely a 3-seater. And that lamp I think will be going completely. Could go in the upstairs office, because that's going to get done this year now. But I have measured, and we can fit the new sofa from here all the way along, and there's a gap of about 45 centimetres, and I've found a little chromaglass side table from M&S. I think that's 30 centimetres wide. So that's going to fit there. So there's going to be a little chromaglass side table, and it's similar sort of crisscross design to that, but with a glass top, and it's sort of an L shape, so you could pull it out and use it, because it'll slide under the sofa. It's that sort of thing, sort of laptop side table, so it can be moved out if needs be. I'm umming and ahhing about these Nesta tables. Now, originally they were going to go where those boxes are. Those huge boxes contained the lamps. They were absolutely massive boxes. But it all looks a bit too clunky. I'm trying to sort of lighten the space using chrome. So I think certainly if I get a chrome coffee table, either an oblong or a circular one, I think we can let these go. And they're not going to go. They'll probably be okay. They could go upstairs in the study. So they're not, we're not getting rid of them, but they're just not going to be in the living room. I think there's just too much wood, because it's going to look a bit wood heavy and it's not going to look right. I think having that empty is best, So that's what I'm just watching that, and Just Like That, the Sex and the City sequel thing. I bought the DVD, I don't know why. I didn't really like it, but I thought, it's hard to let go of things when you've enjoyed them and they bring out a sequel and it's not as good. But it's still better than nothing, So I can visualize it, and there's going to be a new footstool there, storage footstool to match the sofa, obviously. And those will be going back upstairs, because one of those was in Mark's bedroom and the other one was in the study. So all that there is going, and that artificial plant. I think I have been phasing out artificial plants and trying to put more real plants in, so that'll probably go as well. And I do want some sort of a new light. This will go in the theme because I'm having chrome highlights, but I want something a little bit blingier, and with all the bulbs concealed, but sort of chrome and crystal or glass sort of thing. And I might get a different lamp again with chrome in, another statement lamp to go here. We've got a nice new picture that I hinted at. I still haven't opened it. A nice new original piece of artwork that will be going there on that wall. And I possibly will put the picture I had up there before of A Road to Keswick, it's called, behind the sofa. It's dark wood, but it'll go nicely with the velvet antique mink sofa fabric. So yes, the lights, that's plugged in. That isn't, because I'm going to need an extension lead going along at the bottom, but it's not going to show because the snuggle chair will be in the middle. I know it's covering up the radiator, but it will be a bit away from the radiator, and I'm going to put some reflective material behind the chair, just a board with some reflective material on or something. But it will look nice when I've got the big blingy mirror. It's sort of, I'm trying to sort of go for an Art Deco-y theme. It's a bit of a mix, but the accessories will be Art Deco-y. The side table certainly looks Art Deco. I think they're fairly Art Deco. So it just sort of lightens it with a bit of bling. I do really want new curtains at some point, but they are expensive. I've been pricing them up. I can't believe £500 odd for curtains. So this is just mess that's going to, just remnants still of Christmas. That's a working set of lights, but it's not the new set, but I need to keep those anyway. And I've just been vacuuming up as I've been going along. So it's getting there. Let's go upstairs. I'm just slowly taking stuff upstairs. As I go upstairs, I'm carrying up stuff. So I have in the Happy Socks Advent calendars, I have got now baubles in the 3 things. That's the Christmas tree. And I'm just, as I go upstairs, I'm just carrying bits, going up the stairs. Still all on the stairs, so I'm just doing it bit by bit, one piece at a time. Whoops, focus. Oh dear, it's a right mess. So you can see I've got my ladder out. So all the stuff has to go back up there. And in the ensuite that is getting done, I've started doing what I can. Well, I've been taking off the some of the existing fittings because I want to keep those. So that shelf is coming down, as is that. I'm going to reuse that mirror, so that's to come down. And I've taken off the rail that was there. So that's normal radiator. That's going to be replaced by a towel rail. And I've been trying out different, a paint colour on the walls, but it's going to be half tiled at this sort of height. But instead of it just being half tiled on the back wall, it's going to be half tiled there and along there and that wall. So this here is bits of the new ensuite. This is the toilet and the sink and other bits and bobs. And then the shower will be replaced, more or less the same footprint as that shower. And I'm getting a very similar floor to this, but it's in Amtico rather than this very thin, awful vinyl that was laid, when we first moved in. And the pedestal sink is going to be replaced by a vanity sink and just a new style of toilet. But when it's all done, I'm not going to have that little unit there. I won't need it because I'll have a vanity unit with a cupboard underneath to put everything. And I probably will leave that bit clear, maybe just have my linen basket just in there and one of my plants or something. So, and there will be a new door fitted with frosted glass panels on it. So yeah, it's not as messy as it has been, the bedroom. It's all got to be tidied up for Monday, if they do turn up on Monday, and everything will be covered with some dust sheets. And of course all the Christmas decorations will be put away. Is that a delivery for me? I'm expecting a delivery. That's a picture. I bought a picture of Keswick and I framed that myself. That's the new mirror. You can't see much of it, but it's a big, very big mirror, big heavy mirror. It's got some very nice sort of deco-y type features. I do like that frame, and there's black in it as well. So I think that's going to look really nice in between the two side tables with the snuggle chair underneath it. I'm going for a little bit of an Art Deco-y theme in here too, because this lamp here is a little bit deco-y, and I've got my eyes on a mirror to go here, a sort of a smaller deco type mirror, because I do have my Hoover Building picture here, which is a famous Art Deco building. Got my picture there, and I've also got a little model of the Hoover Building that I treated myself to from Chisel and Mouse. They had 20% off Black Friday offer, so that might go there. That's probably going to charity. That's from the bathroom, that's just there temporarily. So there's that. Let's turn off the lights. But all this has got to be decorated, everything from top to bottom. After the ensuite's done, my bedroom needs doing, and everything. All this hasn't been painted. This part's been painted. Focus. Mark painted this part, but he's only done the walls. I don't think he even did. He might have done the ceiling. I think he did the ceiling, but he didn't do any of the woodwork. So the plan is to get new carpet as well everywhere. And the lady from Calder Valley Flooring said we could have a carpet and get rid of this threshold strip, which is good. So the carpet can come all the way from the front of the house all the way back without a join there. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Won't it, Molly? Hey? Molly Moo in bed? So let's pop down. Oh, it's been something put through my slot. So here we're having a new hard floor here. This is really worn now, and it's got a hole in it, this carpet. It's done well though for a cheap carpet. Let's have a look. Oh, it's some it's not for me. What's going on out there? Oh, some man. Right. And the kitchen's just a bit of a mess because if I put things on the floor, it's hard for me to pick it up. That's packaging for those lamps. I think I've got enough room in the bin, the main bin. Since we've been away, there's quite a lot of room still left in it, and they're coming tomorrow, so they'll go in the main bin. That's some rubbish for the bin as well. And I might eat something shortly after I've filmed this. But yeah, it's just superfluous. It's not much. I mean, it's taken me twice the time to do it, because I'm sort of having to, you know, instead of bending down, I mean, I'm sort of bending with my knees. I suppose you should do. That's washed bedding from the caravan from our last trip. That needs to go back in the caravan. But looks like we're not going in the caravan now until June, because we've got a holiday in May, but that's at a cottage with my mum and possibly an elder brother. Look folks, that's the KWB Advent Calendar box. I'm not sure if I don't know if I can recycle that. Is there a recycle? I think that might be able to go in the recycle thing. But anyway, it's got to go somewhere, hasn't it, Daisy? You've had your treat. So, you know, it's getting there. I've got a vision. It's starting, you know, some of the vision is starting to come together. Once that, I'm going to have to find some really heavy duty plasterboard fittings for that. It's a very heavy mirror. But it's just going to be lovely there. It's just going to bounce the light back. It's going to look fabulous, I think. Fabulous, darling. So I can see things coming together. And with the new, I'll show you the new picture at some point. But when that's up, it's going to be, I think I'm having it in the middle, maybe. In the middle. So you'd see it as you walk in. It's the first thing you'd see. This is, you know, it's a sort of that sort of ratio picture, you know. It's not that, it's that. Vertical rather than horizontal. So, crikey, my neck's aching just holding this camera. So that's where I'm at on Wednesday the 4th of January 2023. Just a bit of an update for you. But as I said, for the next few weeks, couple of months or so, you'll just be seeing some very random stuff. There'll be no rhyme nor reason to the videos. As I said, the next video you will be seeing is definitely going to be the coffee and walnut cake. And it's, although I say it myself, it turned out okay. It wasn't a disaster, so don't expect the laughs you got from the gingerbread house, because I was fairly competent, to be honest, at making the coffee and walnut cake. It did turn out fine, with a little proviso, but if you watch that video you'll see. But it was certainly very edible. But yes, so the next video, I'll always tell you when the date, if it's sort of an update. But after this video, as I said, it's going to be random stuff, very random. But I'll keep you updated on what happens in the living room, what happens in the ensuite, obviously decorating, and etc. I suppose it's good that we're not going on holiday now until May. Seems an awful long time to wait for a holiday, to actually go on a holiday, you know, but that's how it is. But it's good because I need the time just to focus on the house instead of thinking, oh, it's the holidays coming up and blah, blah, blah. It sort of puts a full, you know, it doesn't stop things happening, but it sort of puts things on hold when you want to carry on getting on with stuff, because I certainly want a lot of it done in the first half of this year. It's not all going to be done, but I hope a lot of it will be done, and certainly, hopefully within a month, I can show you a lovely new ensuite. I just hope it's been worth the wait of 7 or 8 months actually to have it done. I'm pleased with what I've chosen for it. I'm pleased with the tiles and the flooring and the fittings. So fingers crossed they will do a good job at fitting it. So until the next video, thanks for watching. Again, I hope you all had a great start to 2023. Thanks for all your comments and your thumbs up and everything. And as I said, next video will be me in an apron cooking a cake, and then after that, who knows. But hold on tight, we're in for a bumpy ride. Bye for now.